I wanted to share that lesson that I had learned throughout the many years that I've lived with young kids. And what gave me the vehicle to do that was when I was standing at an exhibit of a retrospective of a painter, Magritte, surrealist, and I was looking at this specific painting, and this specific painting was of this woman with a shadow of a bird. And the shadow really doesn't belong to her. It's a shadow of a bird, but it's attached to her. And that made me think, what is it? I knew there was something about shadows, and I knew I wanted to do a picture book. And I had this other thing that I wanted to share with kids. So what made me think, what if there is a girl that is born without a shadow? Do shadows keep you on the ground? Will she be bullied? And if they do, what is she gonna do about it? So when you ask those questions, what if, that prompts the answer. And the answer is Lucysaurus. Lucysaurus, the style that I did this book with, it's monoprints. And I fell in love with monoprints because it is a technique very much that actually, it's very much like the story itself, like the message of the story. In the story, Lucy learns to see her difference as a strength. The technique itself is a technique that you can't control entirely. So you have to accept what may be seen as an accident, or may be seen as a flaw, or may be seen as something that you can turn into an asset in that illustration. And when you see this, you see that it goes over here. And I didn't know it was going to print this way. I didn't paint each one of those little squares. I had applied paint to that grid that I just showed you. When I placed the grid on top of my glass and I removed the grid, I had some ink here and there. I then pressed the paper, and this is what transferred. This is the page where you see Lucy as a baby. Since she is going through kind of a transformation, it's almost a magical transformation, because she becomes aware of the superpower that she has, which is she can see things in a different way that makes her truly powerful. I thought that this, which could have been construed as a mistake, added to the magic of this superpower that she has. I had been toying with the idea of doing an alphabet book in Spanish, with the Spanish language. Why? Because I did a little research in Spanish, in looking at how many books had been published here in the US with the English language, for children, of course. And I discovered there were 17,000 books for children with the English alphabet. And I went, okay, let me see how many in Spanish. And I go and do my little research, 17. I thought, okay, there's room for another more in Spanish. But what am I gonna do that not only highlights the Spanish language, but it's really a truly wonderful book that highlights something about, the Latino community, and that kids all over want to read about. Okay, I don't want to do A's and, A for apple, B's for banana newspapers. In 2013, I read a newspaper article talking about the discovery of the Olinguito. That after 10 years of research in the National History Museum's drawers, research on the Olingos, Dr. Christopher Helgen has found out a different species, which is not an olingo, it had been mislabeled. It is actually an olinguito. He was the one who labeled this new species olinguito. And of course, in this article, he said that after the 10 years of research, what he didn't know was whether these new species he had just discovered after the DNA testing was still alive and well in the wild in the country of origin of this one specimen he had found out in some of the drawers of the Natural History Museums. And that origin was Ecuador. In the cloud forest of Ecuador. I read olinguito, starts with an O. Olinguito from Ecuador. Now I have to find all the other 27 letters of the alphabet among the animals and plants, the flora and the fauna that coexist with the olinguito in the high altitude of the Andes. And this is how this book was born. So, because as you know, all these lullabies, this folklore that we share, it may be, and that's another thing that we Latinos share. We may all know arroz con leche, but everybody has different words for the same melody. And that is the beauty of that folklore, precisely. So the same thing for the lullabies. There were some, where is arroz con leche? Arroz mi niño. There were lullabies here, and some of them are not lullabies, are gentle games, it was fun to find the different versions of the same melody of a lullaby, and different little games that are so important to share with our children. And I still do even today when I talk to parents, because this heritage, to tell the truth, this heritage that we all share has been proven to work with kids for hundreds of years. Literally, that is why this folklore is so important. And what these little songs do is that they enable several things. One, they strengthen the bonds between parents and children. When you sit your child in your lap and you do un huevito or pon, 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 el dedito en el pilón, or going to market, cuando vayas al mercado no compres carne ni de aquí, ni de aquí, ni de aquí, solamente de por aquí. All those gentle games strengthen the bond between parent or loving adult and child. And the other thing that these do, these gentle songs, and going back to how, for example, the same melody has different words. The way that I sang this, arrorró mi niño, arrorró mi sol, arrorró pedazo de mi corazón, este niño lindo. Another version, esta niña linda no quiere dormir, cierra los ojitos y los vuelve a abrir. That one doesn't come from Puerto Rico, but again, it's the same melody, and it's the same beautiful way to lull your baby to sleep, that not only focuses on the bond, again, of parent or loving adult and child, but also it enables the child to get the rhythm of those words. And when you begin as a baby, you begin to love that rhythm, you begin to love language, and loving language ends up making that baby, because it starts really in the womb, making that baby an avid reader. So I truly believe in all these little, this folklore that we all share.